Alright folks, another tinfoil hat video. Katy Perry is acting bonkers and passing out on stage. Whoa! Unplug your microwave, brush up with your InfoWars Super Blue toothpaste, and smash your smart meter. I'm about to get you folks hella woke. While the rest of you have been in a depressed slump because it's the end of basketball American season, I've been diligently memorizing the internet in case the deep state flips the kill switch and plunges the world into martial law. I'm ready. I have my Berkey black water filter and my alt-right LARPing gear to defend myself once they start forcing all the white folk into Stalin-esque FEMA work camps. This year's winner for Conspiracy Focus isn't going to be Trump, Hillary, or even Sessions. It's going to be Katy Perry. If you don't follow the Planet X people, Christians scared of quantum computing, and the Mandala Effect videos, that's okay. I'm going to compress thousands of hours of coast-to-coast and pre-2012 Red Ice radio into 5 minutes on how Katy Perry is hot in the conspiracy world. Let's get your normie McDonald's brain up to speed with two important concepts. First is mkultra. Oddly enough, this concept fucked me up pretty good once I learned more about it. Unlike most conspiracies, mkultra was a real thing. It's actually where the term brainwashing comes from. At the height of the LSD days, government agencies began to conduct Mengele-style human experiments with electroshock and super high doses of LSD over the course of months to some individuals. There's an awesome made-for-TV movie about some of the victims called The Sleeping Room. The movie chronicles Ewan Cameron, a Canadian psychologist who conducted experiments in something called psychic driving. He would keep patients in a vegetative paralysis for months, playing a recorded loop to them on a 24-hour basis while giving them high doses of electroshock and LSD. These studies were conducted in hopes of developing truth serums and some kind of espionage techniques for the government. Now, the best conspiracy phrase. Don't believe me? There are thousands of declassified documents you can look up on the Googles. For the longest time, I thought this was mostly the fevered dreams of pot-smoking libertarians, until I found out that part of the Unabomber's legal defense was while he was in college, he was a volunteer in a CIA-conducted experiment to destroy a person's political ideology. What? Second is the Illuminati. They are the shadow cabal of ultra-elite that rule the world and keep humanity in the sad state we're in. They're either a consortium of bankers or the general outcome of the ultra-wealthy's business practices. If anything, Alex Jones and David Icke have shown us that they are reptilian, satanic pedophiles getting their marching orders from DMT monsters, instructing them to cull the human population into megacities so that the world's wealth can be funneled into them, allowing the advancement of transhumanism, giving them immortality, and finally making them gods on earth. Got it? So what the hell does any of this have to do with Katy Perry? If you haven't noticed this year, Katy Perry's appearance has really been going downhill, on top of some really cringeworthy memes. She is following the pattern of all supposed MKUltra mind control victims. She's been out there for years singing pre-processed degenerative jungle music. Her videos have been thick with Illuminati symbolism, and much of her performance looks like a cult ritual practice. Why that has any significance is she's making adult-themed music for children. Falling into this culturally destructive crowd, she had to keep up with the trends of the degenerative media. Let's admit it, for years she has been singing black people's music. This culturally destructive type of performance has been ramping up for years, but it looks like they're passing the torch to Ariana Grande at this point. Grande looks like she's 12 years old and has lyrics about riding dick. Katy's I Kissed a Girl just can't keep up. My guess is, at this rate, Katy, to match ranks, is going to have to come out as a pre-op trans who's in a cuck relationship with her black Eskimo lesbian lover. Jokes aside, that looks like the path her handlers are taking her down. These artists are not individuals, they are products of multinational media firms. In the current cultural destruction that's being peddled, white people are bad and sharing culture is appropriation. Oops, Katy is striking out as a tool for the propaganda machine. You can see what they are doing with her. She has to constantly come out and signal for diversity, just like after the London bombing, where her response was, we just need to love each other more, or something in a drugged out mind space. Whatever dumb shit that was. Her interviews are contained to somehow she is basically a SJW third wave feminist. In a recent live stream for her new album, she sits in a padded white room and speaks to a shrink that looks like RuPaul while an all-seeing eye stares at them. She cries about how she's sorry for being a pretty white woman and she's learning how to not be so privileged. Basically, that's the summation of what she had to say. It's disturbing, pathetic, and almost actually kind of sad. For the promo to her new album, her handlers have reinvented her as some kind of bulldog dyke. In recent performances, she's dressed to hide almost all of her feminine features, and instead of dancing correctly, she's stiff and arrhythmic. Why? Because being attractive is a microaggression and white people can't dance. Don't you know these things, you fucking racists? The beginning of the end started in Nashville, June 2017. She passed out on stage singing a lazy version of her first single, I Kissed a Girl. After face planting into the stage, roadies dragged her off like a broken piece of equipment. Her brain-dead crowd, only shocked for a moment, were redirected almost instantly to two dancing lesbos who came on stage and began seductively grinding on each other. I give Katy Perry until the end of the year before she takes the path of all drugged-out mind control victims in the media. Maybe her and Kesha can pull at Jerry Seinfeld's coat until a few shekels drop their way. Now, the saddest part of this whole thing is that before Katy Perry became famous, she had a short career as a Christian musician. And there's an infamous interview where she says she traded her soul for basically fame. Think about that. Alright, thanks folks. If you like rambling political coverage and bonkers conspiracy topics, subscribe and hit the like button.